Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the release of the action comedy sequel, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, hitting store shelves, along with a little 4K upgrade love this week with the 1986 fantasy adventure musical Labyrinth. And Vestron is releasing a collector's edition Blu-ray release of the 1989 horror comedy Sundown, Vampires in Retreat. Plus much more. Let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart, and hey, look, it kind of looks full, kind of empty-ish. I mean, they do have some of the releases. Well, actually, what am I talking about? They don't have any of the new releases this week. However, they do have some from last week, like Batman, The Long Halloween Part 2, baby. Yes, in fact, they even have the exclusive only at Walmart DVD. So if you guys were only looking for it on DVD, well, Walmart's the place to go, because they ain't gonna find it anywhere else except for Wally World, baby. And again, it's a really great DC animated movie. Is it as good as Part 1? I'm hearing a lot of people say Part 1 was better. You know what? I kind of maybe ever so slightly agree with them. I like Part 1 quite a bit. Part 2 still was phenomenal. Maybe not as good as the first part, because the second part has to answer all the questions and it has to resolve all the stuff, and you're already hyped up, so maybe some of the hype isn't, as realized as it could be, but still, it's a phenomenal Batman animated DC movie. It really is, man. I love all the villain stuff in here. I love the clashes that Batman has. I love the reveal of the Holiday Killer and the motivations. There's a lot of stuff to really like here, and taken as a whole, Part 1 and Part 2 as a whole movie experience, it's an amazing DC animated film, and you guys gotta check it out, man. Absolutely awesome, man. Really do dig that, and it's nice for them to finally have that. And speaking of things that they finally have, holy shit, guys, they finally have Spiral, the 4K and the Blu-ray. Holy shit, guys. Oh my god, what has it been, like 4-5 weeks, something like that, since Spiral has actually come out, and this Walmart finally has copies of it? That is insane. That is crazy, man. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever seen a store carry a new release 4 or 5 weeks after the actual release date schedule. Like, that is nuts. Oh my god, man. I mean, it's cool that they have it, and it's cool that they put it out, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really think it's gonna sell. I mean, do you? I mean, anybody who really wanted it already got it. Releasing it this late, like a month later, it kills your sales, man. I mean, had they put it out like the first couple weeks, it might have got some people biting on it, but now, man, a little too late, but it's nice to see it. But geez, Walmart's jigsaw game is very weak, dare I say. Very, very weak. I mean, they finally have that, but they don't have the Hitman's Bodyguard. There's the tags for it, but none of the actual DVDs or Blu-rays or 4K of that. I mean, they still have decent copies of Luca, a hell of a lot of copies of Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I don't think that's going to really sell much. Some GVK, nobody. Sponge on the Run. I mean, they have some stuff, not really new, but I mean, at least they finally got this in, only a week late, and my god, man. Seriously? Oh, man. Oh, good god. Yeah, this is Walmart for you. I mean, no Hitman's Bodyguard, but hey, I guarantee you, next week. Surprise, surprise, huh? Yeah. Let's head out. So, show of hands. Come on now. Seriously. Did you really think that this Walmart was going to put out any copies of Spiral? Come on. Show of hands. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to put them out either, man. Like, literally after the third or fourth week of them not having it, I was like, oh yeah, they are so going to pass this by. And it only took them a goddamn month to actually put the release out. That is nuts. That is crazy, man. Absolutely ridiculous. And if Jigsaw's traps were as slow as Walmart putting out the new releases, man, he'd be so screwed. Like, no doubt, man, he'd be shit out of luck. Whew, dude, man. I mean, my prediction, though, was right about Batman The Long Halloween Part 2, that they would have it a week after it came out for the new releases. And I'll tell you something, my prediction for next week with Hitman's Bodyguard will become true as well. I guarantee it, guys. We will see that new release next week when we were supposed to get it this week. If only Walmart would actually put out the releases when they're supposed to, they might sell a copy or two. Yeah, easier said than done, guys. Walmart. Sometimes Walmarts are really good with their releases, and sometimes they're behind the curve. You know how Walmarts are. Where does this Walmart fit in? Come on, you guys know that answer. You do indeed, man. A few things to show off, not really new release love, but hey, Spiral love, only over a month late. Well, at least they finally put the damn thing out. Jeez, finally. Other than that, well, not really anything crazy new to show off, but maybe hopefully at the next location, we'll see something worth checking out. All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I wanted to talk to you guys about something. So, last week I talked about how Suicide Squad really didn't make all that much money and how we really need to rethink the strategy of relying on theatrical box office alone, how it's not as reliable as it once was. Well, actually, it seems like studios tend to agree with my assessment. Kind of like Paramount with Snake Eyes. Yes, so Paramount decided to release Snake Eyes early on digital and on demand. Why? I mean, I thought they were going by the theatrical window. No? Well, a couple reasons. One, because the movie didn't really make all that much money in the box office the way they were hoping for, and also to strike while the iron is hot. Let me explain. So, on Facebook, I saw this post about Snake Eyes, and the one guy who posted it was actually really excited about it being on digital and on demand. He's not really going to the movie theater much. He still wants to see the movie, but he understands why Paramount did this, and I do too. Because the movie is still fresh in people's minds. The trailers were out not too long ago. And you might as well get as much money as you can from on-demand digital while it's still able to be in people's brains and it's fresh and people know that the movie is out there. Generally, a lot of studios have agreed with movie theaters on a 45-day theatrical window. Sounds good enough, right? They want to get all the money they can from theatrical, and then they could get those, stragglers that stay behind and only want to watch it at home. The problem with that is that movie theaters aren't as reliable as they used to be. And I've talked about it God knows how many times, but it really is true. And at the end of the day, some movies are able to have their life extended for a long time. You look at big popular movies like Godzilla vs. Kong or a Mortal Kombat, movies where people are going to want to gamble on that movie theater experience, but it's still popular enough where that 45-day window is able to still remind people that the movie is out there, that they want to actually watch it. But not every movie is like that. And 45 days, if you think about it, is a long time. It really is. I mean, And then 14, 21, 28. It's like 4, 5, 6 weeks before it actually hits from theatrical window to on-demand digital. And for some movies, that's a long time. And you have to start to ask yourself, does the 45-day theatrical window model, will it work for every film? And I don't think it will, guys. As I've said with Suicide Squad, I think that they were betting that the box office was going to be huge because they were trying to promote the hell out of this thing. And at a certain point, people are just not willing to gamble on going to the theater and getting COVID or getting shot or stabbed and God knows what else at the movie theaters. I mean, there is a lot of gambles going lately. Let's be real, man. And the theatrical model was successful for a long time. But again, that was pre-pandemic. We are heading into a post-pandemic world, as I've talked about before. And so that model, it can no longer fully sustain itself for what they're really asking for to make money. You have to look at all the avenues. You have to look at physical media. You have to look at on-demand digital. You have to look at the theatrical earnings. You have to have everything at your disposal to try to make the most out of this. A lot of people are still staying home. And a lot of people are not willing to risk their health and God knows what else to go to the movie theaters. Sometimes they are. And maybe one day we will get back to the status quo. We might. I don't think we will. I mean, maybe for bigger budget, big blockbuster films, we might be able to, but these smaller films, they only have so far to go to make the amount of money. And to ask people who stay at home to wait 45 or more days until they're able to see it, that's a bit of a risk. And so Paramount thought, well, look, we originally were supposed to do this 45 days, but we're losing money. The film's not getting any younger. People are slowly forgetting about it. If we don't put it out now, then we might not make any kind of money off of the on-demand digital. And so they have a point that certain films, you might need to reevaluate the way you think. Maybe that 45-day window, maybe it needs to be shortened. Now, shortening it also brings up another point, which is basically that by doing that, are you screwing over movie theaters out of getting their revenue? Possibly. But then again, you also have to remember that a lot of movie theaters, they get their earnings after like the first 2 or 3 weeks of release. Sometimes more, if depending on the movie has legs. But for the most part, the first 2 or 3 weeks is where you're really going to make your money. Are you really screwing them over if you shorten the window a little bit? Right now, everything is trial and error. And there is no one easy solution, one everything can fix it all solution that you have that's going to make everything a success. You just don't have it. But right now, I think we need to try every avenue and really figure this out, because a lot of these movies cost up to 250 million more. And these movie studios, they're losing money, and they're losing money big time. And what was once a surefire hit of having it in the movie theater for an extended period of time may not work the way it used to. And maybe we need to rethink the strategies. I'm just saying, guys. I mean, I love movies in the theater, but times are changing. And maybe we need to think of other ways to do it instead of just theatrical window. And maybe the 45-day model that we want to go with, well, maybe that's not quite the way to go. How do we manage this? It's tough to say, but for certain films, we might want to have to reevaluate things a bit. Not every movie can wait 45 days. They need to make as much money as they can now. If they don't, well, the life of the blockbusters may not last for very much longer. Let's be real. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's an interesting idea, an interesting thought. Kind of want to know what you guys think about that. Definitely let me know. In the meantime, well, there is a few releases this week. Walmart certainly didn't have anything, but hey, we have been surprised by Target. Quite surprised indeed. So maybe they will definitely have something we're checking out. How about we check it out? All right, everybody, we are in at Target, and yet again, new release love, baby. Yes, indeed, Target has been supplying it. Let's dive in. With the first title I'm seeing is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard for $26.99, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.99, and the DVD for $19.99. Now, I got a chance to watch this in the movie theater with Bob, and we were kind of anticipating this movie because we really dug the first one. The Hitman's Bodyguard was really fun. Honestly, we had a really entertaining time with the film. We thought that Ryan Reynolds was really cool in there. We thought Samuel Jackson was badass. We liked the chemistry between them, the rivalry. We thought the action was really cool. Gary Oldman played a great bad guy in it. We really dug it, man. We thought it was pretty cool. And so we were like, okay, man, a cool little action comedy with those two in there. It worked. It really did. And so when they announced the sequel, I was like, okay, that could be really interesting. That could be kind of cool, perhaps. Maybe it could, and then there's a potential for it not to be. But if you're going to go for it, swing big. Let's see what happens, man. And so we were in the movie theater watching this film, and as much as we were anticipating it, we left the movie theater kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie, man. We really did. Now, as much as I love that first film, this film, to me, it really fell apart. It fell apart in a really big, bad way, man. And there's a lot of reasons why. As much as the chemistry works in this film, because it's cool to see Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson, trading insults back and forth, and some of the action is really cool and dynamic. I like the idea of Ryan Reynolds, Michael Bright's character, not wanting to really use guns, and obviously all the hilarity that goes with him getting his ass kicked over and over and over again. I mean, that kind of stuff is cool, and it kind of works, to be fair, man. But there's a lot of stuff that doesn't here, and I think the problem with the movie is that it's just so over the top, and it's just so ridiculous that it kind of becomes a parody of itself. It almost becomes like a cartoon. And I'm serious, like, it really does, man. I just felt like everything with the characters almost felt like hyper-realized. And it felt almost like Looney Tunes-ish. I mean, Ryan Reynolds can get thrown from a car, fall from an incredible height onto his face, run over, you name it, and he never has a scratch on him. He never is injured one bit. I mean, he's almost like Wile E. Coyote, man. I mean, it's just so far out there and crazy. And I got to admit, as much as I love a lot of these actors, I felt some of them were really underutilized, like Morgan Freeman. He's kind of having fun in the role, but he doesn't really get to do much, and he's just sort of there for this funny joke, and once the joke passes, there's not really much else for him to do. Antonio Banderas, as much as I love Antonio Banderas, as much as he is one badass dude, and trust me, I've seen him be badass, here he is a really limp dick villain. He's got nothing on Gary Oldman from the first film. His motivation and what he does in the film, I just didn't really care for him. I didn't think he was really all that effective, and the badass Antonio Banderas that I know, I don't know where he went to, but it wasn't in this film, man. I mean, the problem is, like, that first film is so good, but it's almost like they literally went to Spinal Tap and turned everything up to 11. Like, I'm serious. They just went way over the top, way ridiculous. The characters became cartoon caricatures of themselves, and it turned into, in a lot of ways, to me, almost like a parody of the first film, which just really sucks, man. Again, it was cool to see Selma Hayek become much more of a player in this film. She was a side character in the first one, really becoming more of a big deal within the plot and a big main character, and it was cool to see that. It was fun to see the plot and fun to see them trying to stop this international terrorist, and some of it was fun to see, and the action sequences were kind of cool at times. But at other times you were like, okay, how many times can they do the same shtick where Ryan Reynolds is getting beat down over and over and over again? Samuel Jackson says motherfucker over and over again. Selma Hayek shows her gigantic tits over and okay, well that I never got tired of. But seriously, man, I mean, I thought that the first film had a really great balance between action and comedy, and I thought they didn't quite go overboard in either territory. They just did it just right. And this film, it just felt like just way too much of everything in your face. And there were moments where I enjoyed it, but there was a lot of moments where I just felt like, just tone it down, man. I mean, just please. And it just felt like I was watching a Looney Tunes cartoon, and I'd rather be watching that than this film. I know I'm probably in the minority when it comes to this opinion. I get it, but I gotta tell you that with certain films, certain action sequels, comedy, you name it, you have to have a balance. And when you don't, everything feels out of proportion, and you end up getting a movie that is trying to be more than the first film, but yet trying to ape off of it. And sometimes that works, and other times it doesn't. And I gotta say, with The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, as much as I was looking forward to it, as much as I thought it's really cool to see these characters again in these situations, honestly, I'm fine with just rewatching the first film and ending it there. I mean, if they're gonna go continually crazy over the top with every single sequel, I mean, it might as well just be a Looney Tunes cartoon at this point, because, I mean, what else do they got? I mean, I'm serious, man. This to me was hype because I love the first film, but the second film really failed to entertain, and that's a damn shame. A little more new release love with Rogue Hostage for $17.99. Free the hostages or everyone dies. Tyrese and John Malkovich in the same movie together. Did I ever think that Tyrese and Malkovich would be in the same film ever? No. Tyrese is so not in the same league as Malkovich. Ever. Okay, no way, man. Oh, what is this about, man? Single father and former Marine Kyle Snowden must save his daughter and other hostages from a dangerous criminal who has trapped them inside a neighborhood store owned by Kyle's polarizing stepfather, Congressman Sam Nelson, played by John Malkovich. John Malkovich is Tyrese's stepfather. I can feel the disappointment in Malkovich's eyes already. Oh, you can, man. So Tyrese has to save the day, huh? You know, if he's not driving a car and making some smart-ass comment, man, he ain't saving nobody. That's for damn sure. Oh, man. You know, look, I used to like Tyrese back in the day. I mean, movies like Baby Boy were good, and you know, the early days of Transformers when he was badass with a big old rifle taking on Decepticons and shit. But boy, we're a long way from that shit, man. A long ass way from those days, man. Tyrese saving the day now? Highly unlikely. He's basically Vin Diesel's bitch at this point. I mean, really? Come on now. I don't know. It could be a cool little thriller, I guess. I mean, anything with Malkovich, I kind of give a watch anyways, because, you know, it's Malkovich, and I love the guy. Tyrese saving the day. Sure. I can really believe that one. Are you in search of immortality? Are you looking for a way to cheat death? Well, you need to find The Waterman. Yes, the Blu-ray for $14.99. Very nice. And some more new release love. Liking that, baby. Very nice. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I was kind of interested in it because I like the synopsis. You got David Oello here, you got Rosario Dawson, Alfred Molina in here. I'm like, okay, cast is good. I'm liking the story. I'm willing to give this one a chance, man. I mean, basically, what this movie is about is this young boy Gunner. His mother is dying. She's very ill, and he's having problems with his father, and he doesn't want to deal with the inevitable that his mother will succumb to this illness, and he wants to find a way to extend her life, make her live longer. And he keeps on hearing these legends of the Waterman. And he goes in search of the Waterman because this person has the power of immortality. And perhaps if he was able to get this power from the Waterman, he could give it to his mother. So this character has good intentions. I understand why this boy is wanting to go down this journey. I understand it. And he sort of befriends this little girl, and they go on this adventure together in the woods. I actually really did enjoy this movie. I thought it was fun, and it was imaginative, and it's heartwarming. And you get to understand why this character is doing what this character is doing, because that a love that a boy has, or even a daughter has, for their mother is indescribable. And if I was in this boy's shoes, I would want to find a way to make my mother live longer. I got to admit, man, I've been in those situations. I was 15 years old, 2 weeks from my 16th birthday, when my father passed away. And man, what I wouldn't do to have more time with him, what I wouldn't do to just find a way to be with him just a little bit longer, man. And so I can't blame this boy for going on this journey, even though it's a fool's errand, even though it doesn't exist, even though he's going out there and he may not find anything. He wants to do it because he wants to believe that there's some hope out there. And I really appreciated that, man. I mean, I appreciated that very heartfelt way that he goes out to try to help his mother. Something that modern medicine can't do, he's going to try to do through some kind of magic. And it's a little boy's imagination that can go really far, especially when he wants to save somebody. And this movie has that, and I truly appreciated that, man. I really did. I mean, I thought the acting here was really fantastic and amazing. I thought the adventures that he has with this girl, and the fact that this girl just wants to get away from her abusive life and go on this adventure to get away, even for a small amount of time. It's got so much great themes in it, and messages and lessons. And I loved every second of this movie, man. I really did. And I just love a kid's imagination, and how a kid will really go out of their way for the smallest thing and turn it into this really great big style adventure. A kid's imagination is wonderful and bright and astounding. And it's movies like this that definitely have to be championed, man. It absolutely reminds me of old school Spielberg, things like, E.T. or other movies from back in the day. It definitely does, man. It's a really wonderful, adventurous film that is good for the whole family. It really is, man. I really dug this film a lot, man. And I think anybody who is an old school fan of those adventure films from the 80s, if you're a fan of family adventures, this one, man, it hit me in the nostalgia feels, but it really got to me emotionally. And man, not many movies are able to do that. Waterman did, and I got to give it credit for it. A discovery. of Witches. Oh, look at that. The Blu-ray for $23.99, Season 2 on AMC and a Shudder original. We might have seen Season 1 before, but not quite sure, man. Of course, I've never seen this show because, well, I don't have cable, I don't have AMC, and I don't have Shudder, so it kind of screws me over, ain't gonna lie, guys. So, I don't know anything really about this show. After narrowly escaping the congregation of vampires, witches, and demons, Diana and Matthew are hiding in time in the fascinating and treacherous world of Elizabeth in London. They must find a powerful witch teacher to help Diana control her magic. Book of Life. Enemies are everywhere, threatened. Witches is growing. Affects jealousies. Find a way back to the present day. Wow! That is actually really interesting. I gotta tell you, the synopsis is fascinating. I'm kind of really digging that, man. And I like the actors here. I mean, Matthew Good is really great. I've liked him in a ton of stuff. Teresa Palmer is a really good actress as well. Vampires, witches, and demons. Man, it kind of reminds me of the old school days like True Blood, but this is so much different than that, man. This could be kind of cool. I definitely dig this. Is this worth it to sort of dive into this show? I might have to check it out. If it's on like Hulu or something like that, maybe I can watch it. Possibly. I don't know. I might have to give this thing a look because I like a lot of those sort of fantasy, mythical, horrific elements. And to put it in sort of this sort of old school, sort of Elizabethan type of drama piece could be kind of fascinating. I might possibly definitely dig this. You guys gotta let me know about Discovery of Witches. Then we have the 18th season. Man, is that right? Holy shit. The 18th season of NCIS, Naval Criminal Investigative Service. Oh my god, the $29.99. Holy shit. 18 seasons of NCIS. My god, that's gotta be some sort of goddamn record, man. Jesus. Holy cow, man. Yo. Every threat is worth the risk. Oh my god, man. Jeez, they've even done a 400th episode? Man. God damn, dude. Ooh. 18 years. Jeez, like pretty much half of my life NCIS has been on. Holy shit, man. Oh my god, that is crazy. Jesus, man. You know, honestly, I have never seen a single episode of NCIS. I haven't. A lot of those sort of CBS shows, those procedural ones, I never really got into. But I got to admit, Bob loves NCIS. I don't know, he really got into it. He loves sort of the plots and the characters and, you know, the solving the crimes every single week. He's not really into that stuff, but somehow NCIS, man, really piques his interest. Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. I mean, hell, but geez, I don't know if I'd even try to start at this point. I mean, my god, man, 18 seasons I'd have to watch of this. I mean, it's cool that it's still going on. I mean, if you got a good gig and it keeps on going, why not keep it, man? I mean, I love Mark Harmon. I mean, come on, Summer School, hello, I love that guy, man. So if you got a great gig, why not stick with it? And it seems like it's working out good for him, so keep it going, man. I mean, I don't know how much longer NCIS is going to stick around, but hey, here's to another 18 seasons. Man, could they go another 18 seasons? Is Mark Harmon even going to live that long? Jeez, well, who the hell knows, man? I guess we'll have to wait to find out, but it could be cool. Ooh, 18 seasons, man. Goddamn. Congratulations to that, man. Over 400 episodes. That seriously has to be some kind of world record, honestly. That really does. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, man. Yo, that's interesting and quite fascinating for the releases this week. A lot of interesting stuff, dare I say. Target definitely delivered. All right. Let's head out. Well, damn. Target done did it again. Indeed, Target did, man. When all hope is lost, when we think we're not going to see much, Target comes through, saves the physical media day. Who would have ever thought that? But it has kind of become true, hasn't it, guys? I mean, we saw the new release of the week, we saw smaller indie titles, and we saw a little TV love as well. Target definitely supplied the goodies this week, dare I say it, definitely did. And actually, speaking of supplying goodies, they have actually one more thing that did come out, either this week or last week, and that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Yes, 20 years of movie magic. Yes, they did put out a new edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I gotta tell you, the Harry Potter franchise has become one of the most re-released movie series of all time. Literally, they are putting out new editions like literally almost every single year, it seems like, and they did one for Sorcerer's Stone. So I'm imagining that most likely we'll probably get Chamber of Secrets and God knows all the other Harry Potter movies. But yes, they did put out a new one on Blu-ray and on DVD. So all you Potterheads out there, something worth picking up yet again. But honestly, whether it's re-releases, new release love, some TV stuff, Target definitely has the goodies this week. They definitely have supplied it all, man. And God bless Target. Trust me, a year ago, I probably wouldn't even be saying that, but hey, look what happens when a pandemic happens. Target actually gets their ass in gear. Who'd have thought? Hey, and I'm damn glad for it. I hope you guys are too. New release love, I'm a happy man. How about we head to the next location for hopefully more movie love? Now wait, hold up just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, because I have another stop to go to. And this place is actually quickly becoming one of my favorites of all time. I'm like a kid at Hanukkah every single time. And let's be real, you guys send some of the best media of all time. You really do. And I think you know where we are. Indeed, I think you definitely do, guys. And we are none other than the post office, baby. Oh yes, the post office. One of my favorite places to go. And I have a subscriber that told me that there is a package potentially waiting for me. And, well, when you guys tell me I have something, well, I kind of got to go and pick it up. You know, I love physical media. Why wouldn't I pick it up, guys? And this package, I heard, is pretty damn good. So, what the hell am I waiting talking to you guys for? Let me head in, see what I got. Well, the P.O. Box has indeed been open, and did I get that elusive package that a subscriber told me I was getting? They said it was here, so is it? Yeah, it actually is here, guys. Wow, and look at the size of this. That is quite a lot of movies in there. It looks like from Kino Lorber. More Kino love? Ooh, I'm loving the Kino love as of late. I'm loving the packages from you guys. This is a sizable one indeed. I wonder what's inside. How about we find out? Oh yes, back from the post office. Look at that nice package. Oh, pretty sweet indeed, man. Very, very nice. Looks like it's gonna rain a little bit, but that don't matter. Rain, sunshine, package from you guys always makes the day so much better. Indeed it does, man. Oh, and I do know who this package is from. I believe this package is from Tommy. Told me that a new one was right around the corner, and looks like it definitely got here. Let's open it up, shall we? Let's open it up indeed. Oh, this should be good. Oh, what is in here? Ooh, Kino Lorber love. Kino Lorber love indeed. Ooh, okay. I am curious to dive into this. Oh my God, where do we start here? Where do we start in D? Let's start... Okay. Something I definitely have not heard of. The Earthlings. Okay, this is kind of interesting. With William Holden and Ricky Schroeder. Oh my God, this is a blast from the past. Look how young Ricky Schroeder is there. Dude. Two alone in the wilderness. One learned to survive. The other two love. Okay. Screen icon William Holden delivers the performance of a lifetime in this poignant action adventure with stunning scenery from Australia's New South Wales. Fully the heart, no nonsense loner. Oh, it was okay. Remember, little child. I'll say they learn to care for one another. Oh, damn. Wow, I have never heard of this movie at all, man. It's got the 97-minute US cut and the 99-minute alternate international cut. And it's the final film from director Peter Collinson, who did The Italian Job and The Sellout. He died from cancer a few months after the release of this film, which I did not know of either. And the second to last film from William Holden. Holy shit. Dude, I have never heard of this thing before. This is kind of cool. Wilderness adventure movie? This is kind of interesting. I'm definitely going to have to check this one out. That's unique. Never heard of that one. Then we've got... Oh, that's cool. We've got... I've never had a double feature from Kino Lorber before, but I guess first time for everything. A double feature of Too Much and Miami Rhapsody. Oh my God. I remember Miami Rhapsody. I saw Miami Rhapsody years and years ago, man. Young Sarah Jessica Parker, young Antonio Banderas, man. Too Much, I believe I've heard of Too Much, but it might have been a long time since I've seen it. Man, that's got Melanie Griffith, Antonio Banderas, and Daryl Hannah. Whoa. I did not know that Kino Lorber ever put out double features. Oh, this is interesting. My God. A double feature Antonio Banderas set? I do love my Antonio Banderas. That is for damn sure, man. Wow. Man, these are old school ones. Woo! Mia Farrow. My God, man. This is old school. Shit, man, it's gonna be a blast from the past diving into this. Holy shit, man, that's crazy. Then the next thing I'm seeing is... Oh, wow. I have heard of this one. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. And that is... Take this job and shove it. Oh, with Barbara Hershey. Oh, my Lord. It's got Robert Hayes in it. Royal Dano, David Keith, Martin Mull. Holy cow. Yo, that's cool. Look at this keg of laughs that never runs dry. When corporate hotshot is sent back to his hometown to upgrade the Pickett Brewery, he just wants to get in, make the changes, and get back out. Had a tall drink of refreshing down-home life. Instituting cold-hearted productivity increases and the plant becomes tougher. And when his bosses tell Frank his job is to betray the workers, he'll have to act fast to save the good times. Oh, okay. Kind of like, sort of a down home, save the workers, have a ball of laughs movie, something like that. I love the cover to that. That is like old school covers from back in the day, man. Like from like the 70s and shit. Wow. 81. Yo. This is a blast from the past. I've never heard of this one, man. That's kind of unique and interesting. Another one I haven't heard of. That's nice. Then what else we got? Oh, wow. I haven't seen this one in like forever. Man. Oh, this is Legal Eagles. Woo. Wow. Ivan Reitman, Robert Redford, Deborah Winger, Daryl Hannah, Terrence Stamp, Brian Dennehy. Damn. Man, I haven't seen this thing in ages. And honestly, it's it's one of those movies that you don't really ever hear anybody talk about. Like when you think of Ivan Reitman, yeah, no one ever talks about this movie. Robert Redford, nobody. Daryl Hannah, nobody. Yeah, no one really talks about this movie. It's not really the most high-profile film in any of these people's catalogs, but it is a pretty good one from what I remember about the New York art world. Imagine a defense attorney, winger, assistant district attorney, as they come in contact with New York. Yeah. My God. Like a young Daryl Hannah in here, too. Whoa, look at that. Man, this is cool. Look, another one I haven't seen in such a long time. 1986. Man, that's a blast from the past. Look at that, man. That's cool. Oh, oh my God. Oh, I haven't seen this since it came out in the late 90s. Oh my God. Oh, and that is Holy Man. Holy shit. Oh, Lord. Eddie Murphy, John Cryer, Kelly Preston, Jeff Goldblum. Oh my God. Oh boy. Man, I remember when this thing came out. This thing came out in 98. Man, let me tell you something. This movie bombed, and it bombed hard, man. They were promoting this as like the new great quirky comedy from Eddie Murphy, man, and it just, dude, it fucking fell flat on its face. Oh, it was so, man. I remember not really loving this movie, but not really hating it either. It was sort of middle ground. It was kind of funny at points, but it was kind of cringy at other points too. I mean, certainly it's not Eddie Murphy's best, and definitely not Jeff Goldblum's either, but I kind of like the fact that he's playing this sort of guru, and then Jeff Goldblum and them are like part of this sort of like almost like QVC type of like programming where he's selling his stuff. Like it's really weird, man. This is one I have to revisit. Well, now I get a chance to, but I never thought of actually ever owning this in the collection. Why not, man? Holy cow. Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it, man. Some more Eddie Murphy in the collection. Obscure, not really well-loved Eddie Murphy in the collection? Sure, I got a lot of gems, man. Unknown gems, underrated gems, and now not well-liked gems either. Oh, boy. This definitely deserves a revisit. That's for damn sure. Wow. That's pretty crazy, man. Holy, man. Holy cow. And then the next title I am seeing is they have... Oh... This is interesting. Love at Large. Oh, look at this. Woo! Tom Berenger, Elizabeth Perkins, and Archer. I love that cover, man. That cover is great. Oh, look at that. Love is the only lead worth following. Oh, man. Tom Berenger and Archer, including Elizabeth Perkins, Ted Levine, Kate Capshaw, and Neil Young. This giddy, quirky, and wonderful to watch movie. It delves into more than just the mysteries of love. Takes his job as a private detective. Okay. Soon discovers the man he's following is not so much the marrying kind as he's the murdering kind. Oh. And he'll take the help of another sleuth hired to keep an eye on Harry to capture the dangerous Lothario and steal Harry's heart in the process. Oh, man. Yeah. I might have heard of this movie, but I definitely have never seen it before. And I got to admit, Tom Berenger, back in the day, man, was awesome. And honestly, so was Elizabeth Perkins, too. Wow, this one is old school, 1990 old school. I like a good sort of private eye, neo-noir love story. I'll give it a chance. Why not, man? That's interesting. Then I'm seeing they have... Oh, this one I have definitely never heard of either. God, this is some fascinating stuff, man. Directed by Robert Redford, the Milagro Beanfield War. This one I've never heard of, man. Milagro Beanfield. Who is in this? Redford. Melanie Griffith, John Hurd, Daniel Stern, Christopher Walken. Really? Through it. This absolutely delightful comedy of everyday people caught in extraordinary circumstances. Chicano handyman from the Milagro Valley decides to irrigate a small bean field by borrowing some water from a large and potentially destructive site. He unknowingly sets off a chain reaction that erupts into a humorous culture clash. The developers then try to stomp out the modest plantings, forcing the handyman's friends to team up with the spirited rebel to protect and preserve the way of life. Wow. Emmett Walsh is in here. Holy shit. 1988. I have never heard of this movie. I am serious, man. I mean, I like Robert Redford. I actually dig Robert Redford as a director. He's done some really interesting projects, but this is rather an unknown gem that I knew nothing about. As much as I like Robert Redford, there is certain movies that have passed me by, and this is definitely one of them. This is quite interesting. If you guys know anything about this one, you're going to have to let me know, man. This is quite unique. Very, very unique. So unique, I don't think many people have ever really heard or known about this movie. And I'm now very curious about it. Well, I'll definitely get a chance to watch it. That's for damn sure. The Milagro Beanfield War. That is interesting. Okay. Right. And last but certainly not least. Oh my God. This is awesome, man. I love this movie, man. I love this movie so much. Dude, when it comes to Mel Brooks, he's done some amazing comedies, but there is a few that do get lost in the shuffle that deserve a hell of a lot more love than they get, and this is definitely one of them, and that is none other than Life Stings. Life Stings. Oh my God, I love that. I love that cover, man. Mel Brooks has definitely seen better days. Oh, man. Oh, this is so good. Oh, my God. 1991. I remember this movie, man. My mother and father, they ended up, like, taping this one on VHS. And we love Mel Brooks in our family. We really do, man. I mean, History of the World Part 1, Young Frankenstein, obviously Spaceballs, and so much more. The Producers, you name it. Oh yeah, I grew up with a lot of Mel Brooks love, man. And this was always a really funny movie. I like the fact that he was this rich guy that made this bet and ended up going, you know, into sort of the slums and becoming poor, and sort of learning life lessons and all the sort of hilarity of a rich person becoming poor and coming back up again. Like, I kind of like that, man. I really do. Man, this is such a really great movie, man. I forgot. Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor is in here as well. Yeah, he's so good in here. Oh, this is hilarious. This movie is all kinds of funny. I love Mel Brooks in here. I love Leslie Ann Warren. At first, like, he hates her, and then they slowly start to grow to like one another and eventually love each other. I love that. I just love this guy that is like this, the big heights of like rich and you know, all of the wonderful pomp and great riches that he has, and then all to the slums and having to sleep on the street and people stealing his shoes, and oh, it's so good. It is so good, man. God, they just don't make movies like this anymore. It's so great. God, and Mel Brooks, man. I am actually so happy that Mel Brooks is still alive to this day, because, man, that guy is a comedy genius that we need around forever. We really do, man. There ain't many people like Mel Brooks in the world. I can see why, because he truly is a comedic genius, man. And movies like this prove it. It just doesn't get a lot of love, and it really deserves the love, man. It really does. Yo, that is cool, man. Oh, that is really cool. Oh, this is a great one to have now in the collection. Man, that is awesome. Movie that has gotten kind of forgotten over the time, but really deserves more love. It really does. And man, look at all of this, guys. Holy cow. I'm not gonna lie, man. This is kind of interesting. This is really interesting of a stack, man. I mean, I've heard of Holy Man. I've heard of Life Stinks. Too Much, Miami Rhapsody. Yeah, I've heard of them. The other ones, I have not really heard of too much. I've seen some of them, and I've heard of some of them, but other ones I haven't. Like the Earthling, I have not heard of. The Milagro Beanfield War, I haven't. Take This Job and Shove It. Like, this is an interesting stack of movies that I have not heard of, but man, some interesting gems in here that I cannot wait to dive into, man. Tommy, this is pretty cool, man. I got to admit, you picked out some titles that really have kind of stumped me and have really fascinated me at the same time. This is pretty damn cool. I got to admit, you've definitely piqued my interest in a big bad way, sir. Thank you so much for this. This is amazing. This is awesome, guys. I really love this. Wow. Man, quite the stack of movies. I really appreciate the love, man. And I got to admit, I am like a kid at Hanukkah going into the post office every single time. I love it. I really anticipate this. I truly do, man. You guys have sent me some amazing stuff. Stuff that I have never heard of. Movies that I've been nostalgic about for years. Boy, you guys have bet right every single time. And I cannot wait to see what I get next. If you guys want to send any movie-related love to the channel, posters, care packages, physical media, whatever, you name it. If you want to send it, you can. The P.O. box is in the description below. You guys have said to me, hey, Seth, we want to send you stuff. Where can we send it? And man, I decided to do this, and I am beyond thrilled. The stuff that you guys have sent me have been absolutely phenomenal, amazing, has blown my mind away, and it continues to. This is amazing, phenomenal, and like I said, I cannot wait to see what the P.O. Box produces next, because you guys are amazing. You continue to astound me, and the love that you guys give me is amazing, and I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you beyond words so much. Wow, this was quite the pleasant surprise. I knew I had a package, but boy, did I not know what goodies lie wait. And boy, were they waiting for me, and quite plentiful indeed. Oh, indeed they were, man. God, that was cool, dude. That was amazing. Some really fascinating stuff in that box. I can't wait to dive into it. But I gotta wait on that because there is more physical media love to look forward to. So let's head out and find more titles out and about. All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie titles worth checking out. If there is, I will bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I gotta talk to you guys about a trailer, and it's a movie that's coming to Netflix very soon, I believe at the end of August, and I knew this was coming, man. I knew this was, and I wasn't looking forward to it, but I decided, what the hell, I'll watch the trailer, man, and I hope you like reboots, remakes, redos, reimaginings, whatever, because we're going down that road yet again with He's All That. Alright, here we go. Alright, so basically it is obviously the retelling of She's All That. And you remember She's All That. It came out like 1998, 99, somewhere around there. And yeah, it's just the flip of that. Basically, instead of, the high school jock prom king type of guy trying to get a nerdy girl and remaking her into a prom queen, it's the flip side of it where the popular chick is getting the nerd guy and basically turning him into the would-be prom king. Yeah, see there, a little bit of twist AFI action there. Yeah, a little bit of that love. Man, I don't know. I'm not sure about this to be fair, guys. I am really not sure about this one at all. In fact, it's not even really being not sure about it. It's more of just like, why is this even happening? Why is this even a thing? And I'm not gonna lie, because I have never been and am not really a fan of these remakes and reboots. I'm not. Now, that's not to say that I hate them all, because there are some that are really impressive and are quite good, and I give those ones a complete props. I really do. But there's a lot that is bad. I mean, you guys know this. It's not like I'm telling you guys something you don't already know. It's real. Okay? And this one is just another one of going down that rabbit hole, man. I mean, and the problem is like, when I saw She's All That back in the late 90s, I was in high school. That movie sort of spoke to me, and it felt like what high school really was for me at the time. And maybe this movie will do that for high schoolers now. Maybe. Doubt it. But it might, okay? But I just don't get those vibes from the trailer that I got from She's All That, the movie. Like, the characters in that original movie, they're charming, they have personality, you can feel the connections, it's fun and it's entertaining. I got none of that from this trailer, guys. Not a single damn bit did I get any of that from this trailer, man. It just felt very kind of just there. The characters are just there, and everyone's just going through the motions, and it felt like instead of there being a lot of fun and entertaining moments and personality and charm, it felt like just vain and lifeless, and it just didn't really make me feel like I want to be a part of these characters and be a part of this high school. It just kind of felt all kind of a drag. I mean, it really did, man. I mean, it's cool to see Rachel Lee Cook here, older in this movie. It's nice to see her in there. I like her as an actress. But outside of that, I mean, okay. I mean, you have the nerdy guy, which, by the way, the nerdy guy is not really nerdy. Okay? All he is wearing some like baggy clothes and slightly longer hair. But the dude is still like good looking and handsome, man. I mean, they try to make him look loserish and dorky and nerdy, but all you have to do is cut his hair and put like a polo shirt on him, and he's like instantly like high school hottie material. Like, how is that it? What? Is this a thing now? Like, what the fuck? Okay. I'm like, oh, okay, that's real believable, I guess. Well, I've never seen that one before. Like, oh, God. I mean, you have that. You also have the main reason why this movie is even being made. And it's because of Addison Rae. Now, do you know Addison Rae? Maybe, maybe not. Is she an up-and-coming actress? Is she an indie actress that we know she's done some other work that, we might be excited for what she's doing in the future? No, she's a famous TikTok star. That's it. Like, there's nothing else to it. She's just a famous TikTok star that has millions of followers, And that's how she got this role. Basically, they saw how many TikTok followers she had. Holy shit, she has that many? Well, we gotta put her in the lead role because, she can promote this all through her TikToks and her Instagram and all her social media. And, oh, baby, we're gonna get eyes on this movie. That's the only reason they have this chick in the goddamn fucking movie. That's it. It's not for her acting talent. And if you look at the trailer, oh, they didn't cast her for her acting talent. You know that for damn sure, man. Jeez. I mean, I guess if Jake Paul can get, movies and shit, well, why not this chick? I mean, come on. I mean, this is another one of those lifeless remakes, reboots, re-whatevers that was just made to cash in. It wasn't made out of a sense of like creativity of wanting to remake it. It was basically, oh, we have this property and we're just gonna remake this damn thing. And cool, right? I mean, that's it. I hate these type of movies, man. I really do, because with all the talent that goes into a movie, whether it's wardrobe, cinematography, producing, all of the money that goes into hiring extras and everything like that, we could be putting that money towards better fucking movies. But we have to make garbage like this for the new generation teeny bop crowd that really... This movie is not going to be remembered in a year from now. In a year from now, we're going to forget this movie even fucking existed, okay? It's just one of those movies that is going to be shuffled on to Netflix. It's going to be on the main, trending page for, maybe a few weeks, and then it's going to fucking go away, man. That's what this movie is. It's just a lifeless piece of shit effort to just get it out there to the masses and feed them some bowl of crap for, an hour and a half. That is it, man. It's a famous TikTok star in a lifeless remake that doesn't nearly have the charm or the fun that the first film had. And God knows there's a lot of those remakes out there, and yet add another one to the list. This is terrible. I hate these type of fucking movies, man. I really do. It just upsets me that we spend money on movies like this piece of shit. I mean, seriously, man, there's something wrong. Man, if I could sign a petition getting rid of these type of movies, I'd sign my signature 10,000 fucking times, because this movie, I'm probably not even gonna watch movies like this, because it's movies like this that should never exist in the world. For every good movie, we get 5 of these. And that really pisses me off, man. I don't know about you guys, but this gets to me. I'll just rewatch the first one, She's All That, which is way better and more memorable and has a really great connection between Freddie Prinze Jr. and Rachel Lee Cook. Man, I miss the late 90s. God, there was so much good shit. Man, where the fuck is my time machine? Shit, I'll travel back to that time, god damn it. And avoid this piece of shit. Let me know what you think about that one, guys. In the meantime, well, how about we head into the second Walmart and hopefully some goodies that we can find. Much better than He's All That. Ah, yes. In at the second Walmart. Indeed I am, man. And not exactly the most plentiful week of all time. One big release, a lot of smaller stuff coming out, but just because I said that doesn't mean that there isn't some good stuff to be had. There definitely is. And the second Walmart is definitely supplying just a little bit of indie love this week, but still, a little bit goes a long way. And you know that with the second Walmart, we get some doozies, baby. And this time around, we definitely did. Indeed, man. So you know what that means. We head back to Film Fan 108 HQ, which means that you, Seth, yes, you get to show off all that physical media indie love. Aren't you glad? Absolutely, I am ready and raring to go. Well, you definitely should be. Why? Because, I trained you well. Wait a minute. You trained me? No. No, it totally wasn't you that trained me. Self-trained, baby. Self-trained. No, it was so me that trained you. Let's be real. Oh, so it's kind of like you're the Yoda and I'm like the Luke Skywalker. But eventually, the apprentice does overtake the master, and the physical media collection definitely proves it. Hey, we share that physical media collection, goddammit. Technically, it's mine too. And I'll definitely fight you for it, motherfucker. Oh, you think it's yours too? Oh, no, it's definitely mine, baby. All mine. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. You know me. I will throw down on physical media, baby. Don't mess with the film fad, baby. Just saying. But, you know, since you're there, you can, keep my physical media collection warm for me. But, in the meantime, since you're keeping it warm, you could just show up the physical media and the titles that I send you. Right? Woo! Those are definitely fighting words, baby. However, I am the more superior film fan, so, my collection. You, second best. Kind of like the sound of that. Indeed, I do, baby. There's nothing he can do about it. All mine. Oh, indeed it is, man. And physical media is something we all can enjoy, all can own, and all can cherish. That is for damn sure, guys. And this week has been kind of interesting. First, Walmart. Oh, sure. Target actually still continues to amaze me and deliver. Who'da thunk that one, man? However, when it comes to indie love, oh, the second Walmart tends to be the one that tends to boast the most awesome, weirdest stuff we have yet to see, man. And this week definitely does pull it off, man. I mean, even when it's a not so crazy big week for physical media, you can still find some really interesting stuff out there to check out, man. And let's be real, Walmart tends to prove that over and over and over again. And this time around, I think it's going to prove it yet again. Oh, yeah. Back with more Walmart indie goodness. Every single time they surprise, and every single time, gotta admit, they do deliver. Very interesting little foursome here. Let's dive in, shall we? With the first title I'm seeing, they have The Unthinkable. Ooh, we never thought it could happen to us. Oh, nice. Look at that. Yo. Boy, that building's all kind of fucked. Oh, man. You get out of the way, man. That thing's gonna blow. Oh, what is this? Sweden is under attack by an unknown force. In the midst of this crisis, Alex is forced back to his childhood village to arrange the funeral of his mother. There, he must reconcile with both his father and his old flame, Anna, who he desperately has been trying to forget. As old feelings come back to the surface, more mysterious attacks plunge Sweden into chaos and confusion. Oh, so it's this guy reconciling with his life, the tragedy and loss and things that he'd rather not remember. And all the while, there's these secret unknown attacks that are happening to Sweden. Who's doing it? Why are they doing it? Who's behind it? And can they stop them? Oh, yes. We've seen this type of movie a time or two, haven't we? Yes, we definitely have, man. I mean, I do like a good action thriller type of movie. I do. There are some that I really do dig, man. It depends on the budget, doesn't it? I mean, a movie like this where like literally Sweden is being attacked and buildings are being blown up and chaos happening all over the place. If you don't have the right budget for it, then it turns into kind of a cheapo crap fest. It's happened a time or two. Let's be real. We've all seen them. But if you have a decent budget, decent actors, locations, you could pull it off. I mean, they might have the action element all worked out. I mean, look at that. It's pretty cool imagery. But a guy really trying to reconcile with his old flame? Really? Like there's attacks going on in Sweden, chaos happening all over the place. And you really have time to get back with your ex and knock boots? Seriously? Yeah, you shook me all night long. Bow, down, 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 down. Yeah, you shook me all night long. And no bound, bound. Yeah, you shook, baby. Wow. Okay, I couldn't resist, man. I had to. Oh, a Shudder original. All right, I like that. She's scared for her life. Oh my God, what's gonna happen next? The rules are still the same. You call 911, someone dies. You leave the house, someone dies. Are you ready to play? Oh, okay. I'm kind of digging that, perhaps. What is this about? When Mia, a social media star, becomes the target of an online terror campaign, she's forced to solve a series of games to prevent people she cares about from getting murdered. But is it real? Or is it just a game at her expense? Oh, very interesting indeed, man. It kind of reminds me, I mean, definitely Saw. I mean, no doubt about that. That's pretty goddamn easy to pick that one out. It also really reminds me of the game as well. And the reason why I say that is because the idea of is it real? Is it not? The difference between what's real and what's in your imagination, or the fact that it may seem real, but in fact, it's all meant to fool you. Like, I like that idea behind it. And the game definitely does that really, really well, guys. Honestly, pretty goddamn well. There is another one that it kind of reminds me of a little bit as well. And of course, another classic, and that is none other than Scream, baby. Of course. Obviously being called, and of course, your friends getting killed, and, you know, who could it be? Who's doing this to me? What's going on exactly? Of course, Scream set it up in the most best of ways, man. So obviously, there's been a ton of copycats, and that seems to be one as well. Now, what's kind of interesting is that there's also like a social media aspect to this. And that's always kind of been a sticking point for me, guys, when it comes to horror, the social media aspect of it. Some horror movies do it well, some don't. One of them that actually did it pretty well was actually Spree. Spree did the social media stuff pretty well in this horror flick. I kind of really enjoyed it quite a bit, man, with that. That one's not bad, man. There's other ones that have been, honestly, less successful. See, the problem that I have is that the horror films back in the day, a long time ago, you didn't have things like cell phones or Twitter or Instagram, a lot of these other things out there. You didn't have all that stuff. And I kind of like the old school way of horror back in the day. The unfortunate thing now is that with all of the technology and with all the social media stuff, it's not like you can't make a good horror film with all those elements in there. You can. It has been done before. But it depends on how you use it. Sometimes some of them work quite well, like A movie like Guns Akimbo, which is not a horror film, but it's like an action one. I like the idea of social media used in that way. A movie like Nerve, which is not bad either. I like that stuff to it, but again, you have to use it in clever ways that work to your advantage. Some movies are able to do it, and others, well, uh, end up going down the rabbit hole of too much plot convenience and just less effectiveness and not really scary. You can do it, but more often than not, you fail. Where does Shook come in? Well, to be honest with you, it's a copycat of a lot of different type of movies. Scream, Saw, The Game, and using social media to your advantage is an interesting idea, but again, if done right. Shudder has a reputation to basically take better movies and basically copycat them into not as great of, reimaginings. Could Shook buck the trend? Possibly. But, if it doesn't, it'll shake somebody all night long. Seriously, if you cannot find any great place to have a vacation and travel, just stay the fuck home. Seriously, man. Ghost of Chernobyl. If it's not a wrong turn, it's a road to death. Get it? Yeah, I bet you guys do. Oh, man. This is so not gonna end well. Just saying. Oh, man. Yeah, it definitely ain't gonna. They thought they were alone. Yeah, right. When a group of unsuspecting American tourists stumble across the Chernobyl exclusion zone whilst on their travels across Eastern Europe, their intrigue quickly turns to cold fear. Evil awaits in the form of ghosts of the hundreds of citizens who died trying to flee the aftermath of the explosion. It looks like the group has no hope when they meet a mysterious, barely living girl. But will she help them escape alive? Let me just say something, man. I really hope that chick is not their tour guide. I'm just saying, because I have a feeling that her directions, man, I'll just fucking take Google Maps. Fuck it, man. Oh, fuck that. Ah, God damn it, man. You know what this reminds me of? And you guys gotta know, man. And that is the Chernobyl Diaries. Have you guys ever seen the Chernobyl Diaries? I was in the movie theater when I saw that shit. That is a garbage movie, man. That's a terrible fucking movie, man. Stupid characters making stupid decisions, totally deserving to die. And this is the same thing, man. I mean, if it's not ghosts, we're in Chernobyl, so it's like crazy, weird, mutant-like people that are coming after you. Wow, I ain't never seen that one before. I mean, God, it's not like I haven't seen Wrong Turn or The Hills Have Eyes. God knows how many other movies out there. Yeah, that's a totally new concept. Sure. Oh, man. This is the type of movie that the characters deserve to totally die. You're intrigued to go to the Chernobyl zone where you know that you're not supposed to go. You know that the radiation is bad. You know that like your child is gonna grow an extra fucking limb or an extra eye or God knows what else. Seriously? Man, I gotta admit, man, as I continue to watch horror films and see stupid characters, sometimes I think, man, boy, I am much more smarter than these motherfuckers nowadays, man. Oh, God, and that's saying a lot. Let me tell you. Oh, man, I just wish all of these characters a horrible, horrific death. And I hope their limbs are ripped off from their bodies and they're literally screaming until their heads rip off. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, these characters totally deserve that shit. I mean, come on. If you're that stupid, you really deserve to fucking die, man. Ugh. I've seen this movie before. It's called Chernobyl Diaries. And trust me, it doesn't end well. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Seriously? Okay. Bram Stoker's Van Helsing, the original vampire slayer. Oh, look at that. Boy, does that cover remind you of anything? I bet you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, Abraham Lincoln did a lot of things. Apparently, he also slayed vampires. Who knew? Haha, of course. Ooh, honey, go to the dentist. You might need your teeth filed. Ah, just saying, just trying to look out for you. When his fiancée Lucy falls victim to a mysterious illness, Arthur Homewood turns to a former rival in her affections, Dr. John Seward, for help. Seward calls in his mentor, Professor Van Helsing, who quickly uncovers the terrifying truth. Let me guess. Dracula? Ah, I bet it is. I'm just taking a wild guess, guys. Oh, man. Van Helsing. Okay, there's been a lot of Van Helsing, different iterations of them. Like, for instance, in Bram Stoker's Dracula, which this movie definitely seems to be aping off of, you had Anthony Hopkins playing Van Helsing, and I really liked his take on Van Helsing. I really did. Sort of a smart-ass guy who's been around the block a time or two. I like that, man. Of course, you can't forget, the Hugh Jackman vehicle, Van Helsing, which, to be fair, years ago when I watched it in the movie theater, I kind of wasn't big on it at the time. I mean, I kind of liked it. It wasn't terrible, but I wasn't really feeling it either. But years later, I've kind of grown to like it a little bit. I have, and I liked Hugh Jackman's take on it. I thought it wasn't bad, man. Of course, you've had a lot of other ones, like in the original Dracula with Bela Lugosi, man. You had the Van Helsing in there, where he just seemed like a very calm, mild-mannered guy. Like, he was totally just standing there watching Dracula monologue. I'm like, just stake the motherfucker! Who cares about his fucking monologue? Just fucking rip his head off. Jesus, man. Oh, back in the day, I tell you, man. We've had a lot of Van Helsings. We've had a lot of Draculas as well. Of course, we have. This sort of takes the sort of Bram Stoker's Dracula world and sort of turns it into more of like this sort of dramatic action epic, I think. Something like that, possibly. I mean, I do love a really good vampire tale. I mean, I seriously do really love a really good vamp stuff. And I love the old school, like, Mina, John Harker stuff, man. Obviously Dracula and Transylvania. I love all that stuff, man. I mean, honestly, one of the best is Bram Stoker's Dracula from Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, that is an amazing movie. I mean, Gary Oldman is amazing as Dracula, and I love, obviously, the love affair that he's having with Winona Ryder, and I love his seducing of Mina. I mean, I'll even throw a little spoof love in there and say Dracula Dead in Love in it, because, it's Leslie Nielsen, so what the fuck, man? I mean, there are some good ones out there that I do enjoy, man. I do love a good vampire movie, but to be fair, they have become sort of a dime a dozen, haven't they? I mean, it's not that they can't be good, it's just, I prefer the old school stuff. I do. Could this turn me around? Possible. I mean, look at those teeth. How could anybody resist her? Ooh, yeah, sure. I don't know, man. I mean, I like this, but it definitely feels like it's aping off of better Dracula and vampire style movies, just putting its own little spin on it. Sure, why not? It's harmless, I suppose. Maybe. Very interesting indeed. Very interesting. And very interesting this week. Look at all that Walmart indie gold. Gotta tell ya, they done did it again. Just so you guys know, when your country is being invaded or bombed or, hellfire and brimstone is coming down, take time to try to hook up with your ex because, it's not all about saving the world. Sometimes it is just all about the nookie. When you are a sort of famous social media star, try not to accept the friend requests of the creepy dudes that are wanting to play a game with you. Then again, aren't they all creepy? You had to look at fucking Chernobyl. Stay the fuck home, people. Oh, and of course, we can't forget about he's the one that called Dr. Van Helsing. He's the one that make you feel alright. He's the one that called Dr. Van Helsing. He'll be your Franken Dracula? Ah, damn it. Why couldn't the song be more accurate? Ah, damn. Oh, guys, the Walmart weirdness, it never ends, guys. It definitely never does, man. And that's quite the interesting stack indeed, man. A little definitely goes a long way, man. And especially when it comes to physical media, it always goes a long way, man. Look, not every week is going to be stellar. Not every week is going to be crazy plentiful. But there is still things out there worth checking out and finding. Physical media, yes, it's about obviously having those titles, but it's even more about the hunt and about actually going out there and experiencing new things and it be really worthy for your collection. It's kind of fun finding these cool indie titles because you never know what you're going to come across. You never know what kind of weird, cheesy, ridiculous stuff you're actually going to experience. And sometimes there is a gem or two within there that is absolutely worth diving into and having in the collection. It really is, guys. Look, we're living in a sea of digital. We really are. And a lot of these titles, any indie titles for that matter, they get lost in algorithm after algorithm. They're on a Netflix or they're on a Hulu or they're on an Amazon Prime, but they're so far down the rabbit hole that no one is ever going to find them. But when you're in a store and you see like the cool artwork and all the cool little things on the cover and you're able to just scan the shelves and see it, that artwork stands out to you and it's something that you're like, oh my god, that looks cool. I want to check that out. You don't get that through digital. It's only through the hunt and checking out all the physical media sections and really diving into the artwork and the synopsis and just taking it all in that really makes physical media what it really is, man. And it's an adventure that's worth having. It really is, man. You guys know that. And that's why we share that great love of physical media. It really is true. That love can't go away. Will never go away. It's just that damn good. It's like a drug. We want it all the time. And that's never a bad thing. Just saying, guys, never, never a bad thing indeed. Especially with those titles, man. Not half bad. Hope you guys enjoyed a little dive into some Walmart indie love. But there is one more location to go to, and hopefully it'll end up being quite plentiful. Guess we'll just have to find out. All right, everybody. We are at our fourth and final location. And did you guys realize there's a law? Yeah, there actually is, guys, that anytime you do a physical media out and about, you have to include a little beast love. I know it's illegal in some places, but rules are rules, and if you are supposed to do a little beast loving, well, might as well do it Best Buy style. Yes, indeed, we are at none other than Best Buy, the Beast. Best Buy, baby. And this has been quite an interesting physical media out and about, hasn't it? Some interesting titles we're checking out. So what will the Beast have in store for us? Well, let's hope for new releases, maybe titles we haven't seen yet, perhaps Steelbook Love as well. You never quite know. But the only way to find out is to head inside, so let's go in Check it out. All right, we are in at Best Buy, and there is some new release love. Indeed, there is. Right off the bat, I'm liking that. Indeed, we have got the Blu-ray DVD digital of The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard for $21.99, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $30.99, and for $1 more, you can get the only at Best Buy exclusive Steelbook packaging for Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard for $31.99. Look at that. Now, I gotta admit, this is a much better looking cover than this one. I mean, this one's not bad, all things considered, but this is better. I am liking that, man. I do indeed. And actually, speaking of Steelbook love that we also have, they decided to put one out for the first film as well for $19.99, which is not a bad price, actually. It's pretty good. Look at that. I'm liking that too, actually. I already have the Blu-ray. This is very tempting to upgrade. I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know. It does look cool, though. The artwork does look pretty awesome. I ain't gonna lie, man. For $19.99, that is pretty sweet. All things considered, not half bad, dude. I do have that. Pretty cool, man. And this is not bad either. Pretty sweet indeed, man. Very sweet. I just kind of wish the movie was better. Yeah, I know. I do wish it was. The one thing I will say, and I said it over at Target, and I really do mean it, is the fact that Selma has more of a spotlight here. And that is the one thing I do appreciate. And Selma Hayek, I do appreciate me some Selma Hayek. I definitely do, man. I remember the first thing I ever saw her in was Desperado. I remember seeing her in Desperado, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, this woman is absolutely gorgeous, and she's kick-ass, and I was instantly in love. I was instantly in love, dude. And then seeing her in From Dusk Till Dawn, are you kidding me? Oh my God, that dance sequence. Seriously, that dance sequence was amazing, and what she was wearing, let me tell you something, it didn't leave much to the imagination, man. Good God. Let's say when I was a young lad watching that movie late night, I had some thoughts running through my head. Only good ones, I swear. Oh man, she was great in that movie. I loved her in that. The Faculty, 54, she was great in as well. Of course, the other Robert Rodriguez ones, like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, she was really good in. Also really loved her in Fools Rush In with Matthew Perry. Great little romantic comedy that I absolutely do dig, man. She's been in some really good stuff that I've really liked over the years, man. She really has. There was a point when Selma Hayek, to me, could do no wrong. And I'm serious. Like, everything I saw her in, I was like, oh my God, I love this chick. And eventually, yeah, she kind of went down the rabbit hole of not great movies. I mean, she was good in them, but not exactly the most exceptional stuff you've ever seen. Kind of like being Adam Sandler's wife in Grown Ups. Why? I hope you got a great paycheck in order to kiss Adam Sandler. I really do, Selma. You should be kissing me instead, not Adam Sandler. I mean, isn't that a no-brainer? I mean, come on, man. Jeez. Look, I do give Selma a lot of credit. She really built her career upon doing some really great empowerment roles, not only being beautiful, but being somebody that could take charge, that is somebody you don't want to mess with. I mean, movies like that, and Frida, that is just a really great movie that really shows off her acting talent in a fantastic way. She's done some really great projects. She has, man. And when she was in that first movie, yes, it was a side role, but there was a promise of something more. And I'm glad that we got that promise, because there's actually a great interview with her that she actually didn't think that she was gonna get a bigger spotlight in this next movie. She actually really didn't think she was going to. And the director kept on saying, hey, yeah, we're gonna do more for you. We're gonna give you a bigger role. And she's heard a lot of Hollywood promises and everything like that, and she didn't really believe it until she actually saw the script and was like, oh wow, they actually are going to give me a bigger role. And I appreciate her here being a formidable badass. And that's one of the highlights of the movie, and I definitely appreciate her for that. I really honestly do, man. Outside of that, I just think the film unfortunately overdoes it in every aspect, and it ends up becoming a pale comparison of itself. It becomes an oversized cartoon, and there's only certain amount of action sequels that really are not maybe as good, but are still worthy. Like Rush Hour 2 is really great, or Another 48 Hours is something that I really dig. Die Hard 2, I mean, you name it. I mean, yes, you have to go bigger, but you don't have to be a parody of yourself. And I think this movie goes a little bit too far. I mean, the movie is directed by Patrick Hughes, and Patrick Hughes is one half of the Hughes brothers. He's a good, solid director at times. I mean, he directed the first movie, and the first movie is fantastic. I mean, I love that first film. I think it's phenomenal. He did a great job. He directed Expendables 3. Okay, not as good. But he has it in him to make a good action movie with comedic elements. The Hitman's Bodyguard proves that, but I just feel like they went a little too overboard. They need to just pull it back. And there is a promise of a third film, potentially. It would be cool to see it, but my advice is to pull it back a little bit. The comedy is there because Ryan Reynolds can do comedy really well, and I think the connection with him and Samuel Jackson works extremely well. I think Salma Hayek is really good here, but you just gotta lower it a bit, man. Lower the temperature, and I think it'll be fine. You just can't go overboard. Sometimes restraint is a good thing. It does breed good results. Going overboard sometimes doesn't always help. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, it had a lot of potential. It just kind of fell off the wayside a little bit, at least in my honest opinion. It's got a lot of good elements, but didn't quite completely pull it together, unfortunately. It happens. Still got good moments, but if you're expecting the Hitman's Bodyguard, well, it is, but it's the Hitman's Bodyguard on steroids and E and meth and a lot of other stuff. It's just so wild and ridiculous and overly crazy. It's a little too much, man, at least in my opinion. Then again, I could be in the minority on this one, guys, but honestly, that steal, though, is pretty damn sweet, and so is this one, too. Nah, but not bad, man. For 20 bucks, that's a pretty goddamn good steal. Well, at least you get to see a busty Salma Hayek. There is worse things I could do for 2 hours. Just saying. Indeed there is. Hey, at least you got that, man. They do have that. They also have the Blu-ray of Rogue, a Hostage for $16.99 with Tyrese. Who cares about Tyrese? I want to talk about John Malkovich, baby. Yes, come on. How awesome is John Malkovich? I mean, seriously, being John Malkovich, Con Air John Malkovich, Rounders John Malkovich, with that accent, yes. How awesome is that, man? That is really cool. Shadow of the Vampire John Malkovich. Oh, that is awesome. What a great actor he is, man. And, you know, occasionally he does some indie stuff. I mean, I give him credit for doing this stuff. Every actor needs a paycheck, but sometimes, you know, you want to class up the joint a little bit, and so you do it. I mean, Tyrese can't have all the fun, right? You need to have a little bit of Malkovich in your life. I mean, come on, who are you rather willing to see, Gibson or Malkovich? We already know the answer to that one, guys. It's Malkovich. Let's be real, man. I love him. He's such a quirky actor, but he's such a really fantastic one, man. I mean, he's so amazing in whatever he does, whether it's in Arkansas with Vince Vaughn, which he's really good in The Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood, and so many more. Even in small, minor roles, he still is able to impress. It's John Malkovich. Of course he does. He's the best in everything. Even something like this, man, which is probably just real cheapo, straight to DVD, Blu-ray action garbage with Tyrese, he still is able to make it look good because he's John motherfucking Malkovich. Seriously, man, he's awesome. No special features, but I would imagine any special features on this would be just how awesome John Malkovich is. Seriously, why isn't there more special features just on how awesome John Malkovich is? There really should be, man. I'm just saying, dude. There really should be. And on Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, they do have great special features as well. They have a bunch of featurettes here on the set. One effed up family, Stunt Life. I mean, they do have some really good stuff as well. Like I said, not bad for the B so far. Some pretty good, solid additions, dare I say, man. Not bad at all. A little bit so far. Let's hope for a little bit more. And on the other side of the new releases, well, they are out a lot of A Quiet Place Part 2, man. I mean, they only have 2 of the 4Ks. They're all out of the Blu-rays and the Steelbooks, you name it, man. People were not quiet picking up this motherfucker. They definitely were not, man. Damn, they ransacked this big time, dude. That is all sold out, as is GVK. GVK is still no longer here at the Beast, man. That is all gone as well. So they definitely need to restock at some point on those titles. That's for damn sure. However, they do have the 2-disc Blu-ray digital of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for $14.99. Yes, that new release that I showed off over at Target. You know, I'm going to be honest here. I do not think Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the weakest of the franchise. And I've heard a lot of people say that, well, Sorcerer's Stone is not the best and it's the weakest and it's too kid-friendly. I've heard a lot of those arguments, man. And I gotta admit, I don't really see it. I revisited this movie about a year or so ago with my girlfriend, who, by the way, loves Harry Potter, like all things Harry Potter. She loves it, man. She's definitely a Potterhead in the biggest, baddest way. And watching it, I remember it just being really fun and adventurous and a great, yes, kid adventure, but family adventure as well that I think adults could dive into as well. It's not a dumbed-down fantasy kids film. It's actually really clever and unique and imaginative. And I think it's a nice first dive into the Harry Potter world. I really honestly do, man. I really think it's great. I mean, number one, the casting was amazing. The fact that they got this casting right with these kids, and who knew how they were going to actually morph into actors, but they did a phenomenal job. The supporting cast around them was amazing, and I thought that the world building in the first movie was really amazing, showing off Hogwarts and the whole Voldemort stuff and teases to what would come in later films. I thought it was a really great, wonderful fantasy adventure movie that was a really great start to a franchise. I thought it was really wonderful, man. Yeah, does it have its faults at times? The movie does. It's not perfect, but I thought Christopher Columbus and Steve Kloves, the writer, I thought they really adapted J.K. Rowling's material pretty flawlessly, all things considered. I actually really thought they did, man, and it ended up being way better than I think it had any right to be. I mean, a lot of these book-to-film adaptations don't really light the world on fire, but this one was pretty damn solid. Go back with open eyes and really look at Sorcerer's Stone and take away the fact that it's a kiddie film and all that, and I think that you'll see it's a pretty genuinely unique and creative film that started off a franchise in a really great way. I think it's better than a lot of people give it credit for, man. I think Sorcerer's Stone is pretty damn fantastic, actually. I would say, as far as Harry Potter films are concerned, kind of underrated. I kind of do believe that, man. I wonder what you guys think about that. But a really solid fantasy film. Actually, the whole series is really solid. But the first one, honestly, I think started off in the best way it possibly could. Honestly. Not bad special features either, man. Hey, Lord knows we're going to see more of these releases. They still got Chamber of Secrets and on to go. They've got a lot of films to still go with releasing. They're just pacing themselves, taking their time, man. Why not? And showing off a little love for Sorcerer's Stone, never a bad thing, man. And by the way, Richard Harris playing Dumbledore, he was a great Dumbledore, man. Highly underrated as Dumbledore. He was awesome. Give that guy a lot of credit as well. A great movie that deserves a hell of a lot more love. Wonder what you Potterheads think. Definitely let me know, man. I mean, they got that. They still got the Transformers Steely love. I'm surprised that this isn't all sold out. They got that. That's cool. Of course, Mortal Engines, WWE 84, Mortal Kombat, Space Jam love. They still got some decent stuff over in this side, but boy, they definitely need to restock for GVK and A Quiet Place Part 2. They definitely need to do that, guys, in a big, bad way. Well, maybe next week? Yeah, we'll see. But in the meantime, not bad physical media love so far. Let's see what else they got. And on the back side, there is physical media love here worth checking out. But before I do that, I did find some more A Quiet Place Part 2 and GVK love. I did, man. Of course, it's in the back here. It probably should be in the front, but you know, you just gotta look a little bit and you'll find it. So fret not, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still looking for some of the new releases. Well, you may not find them in the front display, which would make more sense, but look around. You never know what you will be able to find in places where it probably should be more visible. Whatever. Hey, they do have some more love, so give them credit for that, guys. But even though that's kind of cool, this is much cooler. And that is the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Digital of Labyrinth, the 35th anniversary edition for $27.99. Look at this bad boy. Look at that. Sweet. Look at that, baby. Oh my God, Labyrinth. 35 years. And that makes me even older now. God damn it, I'm older than this fucking movie. Of course I am. Oh my God, but I love this movie so damn much. I really do, man. This movie is amazing. It was part of my childhood. What am I talking about? It was part of many people's childhoods. They love this movie. I mean, Jennifer Connelly is great here. David Bowie. Oh my God, David Bowie is the Goblin King. Iconic. So iconic, man. Amazing. I love this movie. It's movies like this, Return to Oz, Dark Crystal, movies like that really solidified my love for fantasy and solidified my love for, you know, a lot of these weird worlds of imagination and possibilities that just almost felt like it came out of a dream. It was so amazing watching movies like this, man. And Labyrinth is one of the best of them. I mean, it really is. I love the creature effects, which are done by Jim Henson. And I mean, come on, back in the day, Jim Henson was one of the best when it came to creature effects, man. I mean, they're so awesome, and they feel lived in and real and lifelike, and that they feel like a part of this world. They don't feel artificial. It's so amazing. It truly is, man. And I love the landscape and the fantasy world that these characters live in. I love the music, and David Bowie did amazing with his voice and the musical numbers. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know if I could really find a flaw in this movie, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'd want to. I mean, I'm serious. I love this movie so much. It's one of the best fantasy movies of all time. And I dare somebody to say I'm wrong, man, because I doubt any of you would disagree with that. I mean, there's so many movies out there that are so wonderful when it comes to fantasy. I mean, even something like Princess Bride is amazing. But Labyrinth has to be one of the best. I mean, it really, really does. There's so many kids that grew up with this movie that are now adults that have shown their kids this movie. And it's just a movie that has survived through generations. And I'm so glad it has, because it's a movie that really deserves it, man. I mean, I love a lot of fantasy now, but I don't know. For me, I'm not gonna lie. I look at older fantasy like Labyrinth and Dark Crystal and some of those ones, and I'm like, man, they were the best. They really were, man. And now it's all like CGI and a lot of fake stuff, and I don't know. The imagination is there, but there was something about this as a child, opening up your creativity and your imagination and the fear of the unknown, that was so powerful. And I don't know if this new world of fantasy that we're living in now really compares to the old school stuff. I don't know if it really does. I don't think it does. I mean, I'm a fan of the old school, but maybe that's because I'm of the olderish generation now. Weird enough to say, but I think if you put Labyrinth or Princess Bride or Return to Oz, a lot of those old school ones up against the newer stuff, I don't think the newer stuff would hold a candle to the older stuff. I don't think it would, man. I really don't. There's just something about movies like this that are timeless and classic and will never go out of style. And I think it was just the way that they were made, and it was the effects and the artistry that still to this day are some of the best you've ever seen, man. And Labyrinth is absolutely amazing. It's stunning. It's adventurous. It's some of the best fantasy that you will remember for years, man. It's for adults. It's for kids, for the whole family. It really is some of the best, man. And the 4K love, that's cool, man. That is pretty sweet, ain't gonna lie. I do have the 30th anniversary edition, and I really love that one. This is awfully tempting, man. And come on, you gotta love that cover with Jennifer Connelly and the Goblin King. I mean, there's a reason why David Bowie is king, man. That guy definitely deserves it. That's for damn sure, man. Oh, look at all the special features, too. Nice. Oh, man. When it comes to fantasy, you can't beat Labyrinth. Ooh, look at you, Mads Mikkelsen. All stoic and badass, like a snake ready to strike. Oh, man, I bet he is. Oh, brother, I would not want to fuck with Mads Mikkelsen. Just saying, man. I mean, he's a pretty cool-ass mofo, but, you know, if you cross him, he may just eat your ass. Literally. Oh, man, with Riders of Justice, someone is going to pay. Ah, yes. Now, I watched this on Amazon Prime. Basically, he's somebody who is deployed and has to come back because his wife ends up getting accidentally killed in this train accident or something like that. And he has to take care of his child, and understandable, until somebody who survived the accident said this was not on accident. This was not just happenstance. It was meant to happen. There was a purpose to it. And now he realizes that he has to find the people responsible for this and get the answers that he needs and take every last one of these motherfuckers down, man. And that's what he does, man. And anybody who gets in his way, God help him. Now, look, we have seen these type of movies before. It's nothing crazy new or anything. I mean, we've seen this plot time and time and time again, so it's not like this is like the most revolutionary plot of all time. But what makes this movie is Mads Mikkelsen, man, because there's a certain amount of an intensity to him, and there's a certain amount of just like this sort of like calm, collective badassery that he has, that he could strike at any moment. He looks calm and cool, but man, you get on his bad side and he will tear your shit apart, man. And he is badass here. He has an intensity to him that is almost unequaled at times. I mean, truly. Like I said, it's not exactly the most original plot of all time, but what makes it is Mads Mikkelsen, and Mads is so good anyways, just as an actor, man. I mean, whether it's Hannibal or playing the villain in Doctor Strange or a lot of other things that he's done, man, he always brings his A game to whatever he does. And even in something that could be mundane and average, he elevates it because of his performance and because of how he is as an actor, man. And this is the same way. Again, in a lesser actor's hands, like, oh, I don't know, a Bruce Willis, yeah, it could turn into that kind of movie. But with Mads Mikkelsen at the helm, boy, he really kicks all kinds of ass. And let's be real, I have to say that, because if Mads Mikkelsen ever finds me, he may just chew my arm off. And I kind of want to keep it. So have you ever heard the joke about the Mexican, the former skinhead, and the black chick that go into this creepy old house? You haven't? Well, you're about to, guys. And Stay Out of the Attic, the Blu-ray for $12.99, a Shudder original. Now, I got a chance to watch this one on Amazon Prime, and I don't really know kind of why I did. I guess it was because of the cover, because the cover kind of looks cool, and some sort of weird creature behind a door, and you're kind of like, okay, that's kind of intriguing. I'm gonna give it a chance, man. And it doesn't really turn out to be what you think it is. Basically, what this is about is these three people from this moving company who are helping this old guy move out of this creepy house, right? It's got to be done by a certain time, and these guys are like, okay, this is a lot of stuff to do. I don't know if we can get this all done. He gives them a lot of extra money and says, you got to get this done. Don't go in the basement, and definitely don't go in the attic, but the rest of the stuff you got to get done. And, well, you know that old saying, curiosity killed the motherfucking cat, and these guys are a little too curious for their own good, and it definitely bites them in the ass. So, honestly, what this is, it's not like monsters. It's basically about an old evil Nazi scientist doing old Nazi scientist experiments on humans, and now they've turned into like ravenous, crazy things that are basically attacking them, and they have to survive, essentially. It's not a bad idea, all things considered. It's really not, man. I think the way they go about it is a little... At times, you're like, this movie feels a little cliche. It feels a little cliche, it feels a little jokey. Is it meant to be jokey? Is it intentional, or was it on accident? I'm not quite sure, because some of the time the movie is played for laughs, where I don't think it's meant to be played for laughs, or I guess I should say it shouldn't be played for laughs, because there's a certain level of intensity that the movie has, because you're dealing with this old Nazi, you're dealing with the fact of like white supremacy and the fact of like the Aryan perfect race, and it's basically like this old scientist dude versus a Mexican and a black chick and a former skinhead. And so the dynamics are interesting, but sometimes like some of the stuff that the black chick does, like all this creepy stuff is going on, right? And the Mexican and the white dude is like, you know, this is kind of weird. Maybe we should get out of here. And the black chick is like, oh, nobody's fucking with my money. We're staying. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, honey, have you seen horror movies lately? You should probably get out, because honestly, statistically, you're the first one to go. I mean, damn. like the odds are not in your favor. They ain't good, man. So you might want to, split tail and leave. But they stay. I mean, Honestly, some of the effects are cool, like the blood and the gore stuff. I mean, they really do a great job with that. That's pretty awesome, all things considered. It's pretty fucking cool. I don't know, it's just kind of odd to me because some of the comedy felt off. Like, it didn't really feel like they needed the comedy elements in there. Like, I understand that you kind of gotta break up the levity of the situation, essentially, but I think it takes away from the movie. The movie should be like high intensity, like around every single corner there's dangers, and there kind of is, but there's moments where literally the characters are just standing around, the evil scientist is monologuing, and nothing is happening. Or like they're literally held at gunpoint. The scientist only has like one gun and there's like multiple of them. Why don't they just bum rush the dude? I mean, it's not like he's like a spry dude. I mean, he's probably like fucking like 80 or 90 years old. I mean, just tackle the fucking guy. I mean, there's moments here where you're just like, I'm not sure if I should be more into this, or is it meant to be this way? And there's other moments where you're like, oh, come on, just you could have easily ended this already. I mean, there's plot holes in here at certain moments, but yet at certain moments there's really good acting in here, and I like the idea of this evil Nazi scientist and the experiments, but the experiments aren't exactly the best you've ever seen as far as like horrific Nazi scientist stuff. I mean, I've seen better in other movies. It felt kind of tamed down. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag to me. It felt like it was trying to be a movie like Don't Breathe, but, you know, instead of a turkey baster, it's like Nazi experiments. Like, something like that. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, there's intense moments here, but the comedy kind of throws it off. Yeah, it's just a mixed bag, to be fair. It really is. As much as I kind of dug it at moments, the promise of a cool, like, creature feature, this is not. So if you go into it thinking that's going to be a creature feature, honestly, you are going to be terribly, and I mean terribly, disappointed. It's got moments, but then again, it's also got moments where you're like, going with checked expectations. But then again, that's with a lot of Shudder originals. Seems like it's aping off of better movies, but then again, that tends to be Shudder's MO. What is this, man? The Blu-ray of The Rebels of PT-218 for $17.99. Based on a true story. Danny Trejo, Eric Roberts, William Baldwin. Oh, okay. All right. Oh my God, Danny Trejo looks so uncomfortable wearing that hat. he's just like, the picture's being taken. He's just like, just take the fucking picture already, please. Oh my God. Oh, what in the world is this? Oh, follows the intrepid crew of an American torpedo boat, one of the first to encounter action in the Mediterranean theater at the height of World War II. On the coast of Africa, Italy, and France, the crew fights against the constant bombardment by German forces as the seas become a deadly battleground. An engrossing and action-packed account of the intense naval missions of World War II. Oh, you don't say, huh? I gotta admit, I've told you guys many times, I love World War II war movies, man. They are amazing. Some of the best ones out there. And I do love submarine-style action. I really do. Like torpedo boat stuff, man. Like U-571. That is awesome. Of course, Hunt for Red October. And many, many others. However, Saving Private Ryan, this is not. I'm just saying, man, like, this kind of looks impossibly cheap. I mean, come on. If all you can get is Eric Roberts, William Baldwin, and Danny Trejo, we're not starting out the best. I mean, look, I love Trejo. You guys know I love my Danny Trejo, man, but I don't think even he can save this one, man. Torpedo boat, well, I think this movie already got hit by a torpedo before it already started. And it's going down fast. Oh no, it really is, man. I mean, look at that. Dude, it basically looks like they're cosplaying, man. I mean, especially Danny Trejo. Look at that, dude. He is so cosplaying. He's not even playing any sort of like World War II, like, you know, soldier or anything. He's just, oh man, it's just Danny Trejo cosplaying in a World War II outfit. That's so bad. So terribly bad, man. I love good World War II tales, man. I love them because there's some great stories to be told still. To this day there is, man. Some really amazing stories. I'm sure PT-218 is a very interesting story to be told. This movie, maybe not so much. Oh, we have Gridman? What is this? For $28.99. The complete series. Gridman, the Hyper Agent. Ooh, I'm liking that cover, man. Very eye-catching, very poppy, in your face, man. I'm liking that. Yo, this. An electronic superhero of the future. Okay? 3 computer-savvy kids, Naoto, Yuka, and Ippei, created their own video game superhero, right? But then discover it's possessed by an interdimensional police officer. Oh man, that's wild. Gridman, pursuing an evil program called Khan Digifer, he merges with Naoto and fights Khan Digifer's digitized monsters created by social misfit Takeshi in order to prevent the computerized demon from wreaking havoc on the human world. Whoa! God, that's fascinating. Shit. Oh, from Mill Creek, huh? That's interesting. You know what this kind of reminds me of? It actually kind of reminds me of Ultraman. I mean, I know it's not Ultraman, but kind of has that same feel to it, doesn't it? I mean, it really does. Very fascinating, man. Kind of really interesting. Huh. I gotta tell ya, man, Japanese Asian cinema is wild, man. It is wild. The stuff they come up with is crazy, insane, man. I mean, it's really fascinating and interesting, and man, just incredibly creative. The stuff they come up with, man. I mean, no wonder we pretty much like take most of their properties and remake it, because I mean, it's so imaginative. And they come up with some great stuff that you kind of have to steal it. I mean, seriously, man. God, it's really interesting and amazing here. Yo, that's kind of fascinating. The only thing I ever watched that was even close to this would probably be like Power Rangers or something way back in the day, man. I used to watch that stuff with all the designs and the crazy, wild, like over-the-top action. It kind of reminds me of that, man. Just more like New Age. This is interesting. It's probably kind of cheesy and ridiculous, but I gotta tell you, I'm really intrigued by it. No lie, man. I don't know what this is, but just kind of like Ultraman, it's really fascinating. And now kind of really makes me want to dive into that. I mean, the shit that Asian cinema comes up with, man. And it blows my goddamn mind. It really does. Well, speaking of odd, I mean, we do have Fast Vengeance, the Blu-ray for $17.99. Okay. Revenge is in his blood with Jeff Fahey, DMX, and Bai Ling. Okay. Now, this must be DMX's last movie. It must be. It must be filmed a while ago. Whoa, Fast Vengeance. Huh. What is this about? Upon hearing of his brother's death, a man named Shen returns to his old stomping grounds to find the men responsible and take justice into his own hands. He learns that a biker named Cobra and his ferocious gang, the Midnight Squad, I love that, were the ones responsible. But to get anywhere close to them, he must enter the dark, turbulent realm of underground motorcycle racing. Oh, you don't say, huh? Ha ha. Enlisting the aid of a drag racing champion turned mechanic, Shen must compete in the high-stakes races where he will have one chance to confront Cobra. But when Shen's plan is revealed, he must battle both on the streets and in the ring to obtain his final revenge. With style and rubber to burn. Okay, I can kind of dig it, I guess. Oh, man. Wait, what the hell is Biling wearing? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Oh, man, this looks, I don't know, man. I mean, look, rest in peace, DMX, okay? Because DMX was a great rapper. I actually kind of liked a lot of DMX's music. I really did, man. A lot of it was on my iPod. I really dug the dude, man. I really did. And he was good in some movies. I mean, Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds. I mean, he wasn't bad at times as an actor. Not the best rapper turned actor, but it wasn't the most terrible one either. I love Jeff Fahey and Biling. I gotta admit, man, Biling is one crazy ass chick, dude. I mean, my God, she's one weird person. Yo, what the Jesus, man. I don't know. This definitely feels like it's aping off of Fast and the Furious, man. I mean, it definitely is. I mean, come on. He's got to go into the underground motorcycle racing. Oh, yeah, it's definitely aping off in some ways to Fast and Furious. I don't know, man. I mean, this just feels like just copycat, straight to DVD garbage that's trying to get your attention because it looks similar to something you may have seen years ago. Sure, everybody needs a paycheck, but DMX is better than this. Jeff Fahey is better than this. Well, Biling isn't better than this, but, you know, hey, she needs work. Well, what the fuck? So, jeez. I don't know, man. This looks impossibly terrible. It could have moments of being cool, but if you're looking for really great action and great, you know, racing, if you pick this movie over a lot of other films out there, man, you're smoking the same shit that they smoked while making this goddamn movie. And shame on you. And one last thing to check out, and that is Lansky for $16.99. And it's kind of weird because it's in the corner over here where most of the other new releases are over on that end. It's kind of weird that it's tucked right into the corner here where no one else can really see it, but I hope people find it because it kind of looks interesting to me. With Harvey Keitel. Little Meyer Lansky love, huh? When aging gangster Meyer Lansky is investigated one last time by the feds, who suspect he has stashed away millions of dollars, Lansky spins a dizzying tale revealing the untold truth about his life as the notorious boss of Murder, Inc. and the National Crime Syndicate. One of the most profound gangsters of all time. And he happens to be Jewish. Yeah, you know. There was a time back in the day when, you know, Jews ruled the mob. I really miss those days. I indeed do, man. And some Harvey Keitel love, too. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. You know, they've made quite a few movies involving Meyer Lansky. There's one that I remember quite well from, I believe it was like around 1999 or so, with Richard Dreyfuss playing the Lansky character. I think it was an HBO movie, like a TV movie at that point. But it was so good. Nobody really remembers that one, but Richard Dreyfuss was so amazing in that. That's a pretty solid film, man. It really is. And Harvey Keitel, man, he is no slouch either. That guy can definitely act his ass off. I mean, he's an amazing actor from way back in the day. Amazing roles. I mean, come on, Bad Lieutenant, From Dusk Till Dawn, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and many, many more, man. He is amazing. So him playing Lansky, oh, he will definitely pull this shit off, man. And well, looks like Sam Worthington, too, is in here. Nice. Not bad cast, actually. Pretty cool. You know what this kind of reminds me of? Looking at the synopsis and everything, actually kind of reminds me of Capone. That one with Tom Hardy, where he's older and he's getting investigated by the feds and he ended up stashing away a lot of money, and he sort of uncovers the truth about his life and everything. Kind of interesting and fascinating, man. That could be kind of cool, not gonna lie. I do love a good gangster mob movie. I really do, man. I mean, whether it was that one not too long back that Ben Affleck directed, Live by Night, or that one back in like the 90s with like Lawrence Fishburne, Hoodlum. Do you remember that one? Hoodlum's really good, very forgotten actually, but that one's not half bad either. There's some really good ones out there, man. Lansky could be kind of interesting. Definitely has Capone vibes to it, but I actually kind of didn't mind that movie so much. So if Lansky is kind of like that, I think I kind of dig it. Actually might, man. Not bad. Good acting, interesting plot, fascinating true life character. It might be something worth diving into at a certain point, definitely. And come on, if you're going to look into any mobsters, you kind of have to look into the Jewish mobsters, because, you know, because they're Jewish, they are definitely the best. Just saying. Just saying, indeed, guys. Not bad indeed, man. And they definitely have some decent stuff this week. Definitely do, man. Look at this. Not bad. Definitely doing a little bit of restock and love. They are. Still have that Phantasm box set, which is awesome as well. I'm loving that. They have that. Some of the Marvel stuff, which is pretty cool. They have this complete series of Spartacus for like $23.99 in this really small Blu-ray box, which is kind of weird. I've never seen this kind of packaging before. 13 disc set from Anchor Bay. That's kind of interesting. I'd never seen that. Kind of stood out to me. I mean, they have that. That's kind of cool. I mean, they still have some Battle Beyond the Stars love, Smokey and the Bandit. They have that as well. Ooh, they still even have a little bit of Animal House. They have that. Top Gun love. I mean, they have a few good things over here. Not bad, man. Not bad at all this week for the Beast. Definitely did a good job, dare I say. Not so bad after all. Let's head out. Looks like the Beast didn't do half bad this week, huh? Not bad at all. I mean, we saw a new release love. We saw Steelbook love. We saw indie release love. And a little bit of surprises too. Not bad this week. Not bad at all, baby. You know, when the Beast does its deed, it does it pretty damn well, man. And I'm liking the fact that they're getting more stuff in. I mean, let's be real, man. If you put it out, it will sell. And it looks like Best Buy is slowly learning that lesson, man. We're getting a lot of interesting boutique stuff here as of late. More indie release love. Hey, if they put it out and it sells, then they get more of it, which means that it makes me as a physical media lover a very, very happy man. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys know it, because I think you guys tend to agree with me. I remember when Best Buy used to be amazing back in the day, and it can be yet again. They just have to put the physical media out and trust that the people will come. It is true. If you build it, they will come. If you put the physical media out, they will buy. It's been proven time and time again, and it will be yet again. That is for damn sure, man. They got some good stuff. That is for sure. And this week, I think they were definitely on point. I don't know about you guys, but hey, any physical media love at any of the stores is definitely appreciated. And Best Buy definitely did their due diligence this week. They put out some pretty good media, and I love showing it off. That's for damn sure. Hope you guys agree with all the love this week at the Beast. And actually, the whole entire week. It was pretty damn cool, all things considered, man. Not half bad. So how about we head home and finish the video? Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, honestly, I was looking on Blu-ray.com and I'm like, ooh, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, huh? That's pretty much it. And I was like, okay, there might be some indie stuff this week and a couple other things, but we got a little bit more plentiful love than I was expecting. And hey, as a physical media lover, I will definitely take it. That is for damn sure. So, not so bad after all, man. I mean, especially if you're into 4K upgrades, you got some 4K love, you've got a bunch of variety with the indie love and big Hollywood releases as well. So a little bit of everything for everybody. not so bad after all, man. Not too bad. Hope you guys found something good, interesting, stuff worth checking out. Definitely let me know as far as I'm concerned. Well, first off, I want to say a big, gigantic thank you to Tommy because holy crap, man. Life stinks. The Milagro Beanfield War. Love at Large. Holy man. Legal Eagles. Take this job and shove it. Too Much and Miami Rhapsody and The Earthling. My God, man. This is a huge haul that I got from the P.O. Box from you, Tommy, and I truly appreciate it, man. And I truly appreciate it from all of you guys, and I 100% mean that. I do not take anything that you send me for granted. Not one single bit. It all goes in the collection, and it all gets watched at some point or another. Trust me, it does, man, because honestly, I never thought in a million years you guys were going to send me anything. And I truly mean that. Because I'm like, you have your own lives and own difficulties. Why would you ever send me, of all people, anything? And I never really expected it, but I put it out there. And you guys have been absolutely amazing in what you send me. I mean, this is crazy. This is nuts, man. And I saw the slip and how much this cost, and I'm just blown away, man. I don't deserve this. That's for damn sure, and I truly mean that. I don't. But Tommy, thank you beyond words, and thank you to every one of you guys that have sent me stuff. It's amazing. It really is, man. It's gonna take me a little bit to put it in the actual library of the collection, but well worth it. I got a lot of movie watching to take care of. That's for damn sure. Holy cow, do I? And it's gonna be a lot to dive into, man. But I will eventually get to all of it, I swear. But this is amazing, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you, beyond words. This is amazing, man. That's quite the P.O. Box haul. That's for damn sure. So I got that, right? Now, for what I actually got, this week just in general, well, 2 Kino Lorber and 2 Scream Factory. So, the first I got actually is one that I've been wanting for a while, and it's a great David Lynch movie, man. I picked it up over at Soundgarden, and that is Lost Highway. Man, oh man, David Lynch, man, that guy is one weird and fucked up director, man. I don't know where the hell he comes up with these things, man. What kind of nightmares that guy has. I really don't want to be inside his head. I really don't, man. This is just a very unique movie of like weird circumstances happening and sort of time travel and just like deja vu and so much really weird happenings in this movie, man. But I think it's an amazing mind fuck of a film, man. I think Bill Pullman is amazing here. I think he is awesome here. Patricia Arquette's really good in here. Robert Blake. And talk about one weird fucker, man. Man, Robert Blake in this movie, man, he is weird. It's an odd one, man. It really is. It's probably one of the really weird and odd David Lynch ones for sure. But it's a hell of a lot of entertaining, man. I've been wanting it for a while, so it was a good deal over at Soundgarden. Brand new. I picked it up. Why not, man? A little more David Lynch love. Weird David Lynch fucked up love in the collection. Why not, man? So I got that. I also ended up getting, actually through Soundgarden, a brand new copy of a Scream Factory title I had never heard of, but they've been putting out some really interesting stuff as of late. Interesting, like, stalker or slasher flicks that I'm kind of interested in. And this one kind of piqued my interest, and that is none other than A Stranger is Watching. Oh, look at that. Beneath New York's Grand Central Station, a killer can hide, victims can disappear, and a million witnesses will never know it happened. Oh, that is so good, man. God, I had never heard of this movie. And it's kind of interesting because it's directed by Sean S. Cunningham. And if you know Sean S. Cunningham, you know, of course, he was the director of the original Friday the 13th, the creator of Jason. And he's done some really interesting stuff as a director, man. And some stuff I apparently never heard of. And that's one of them, Stranger is Watching. It seems like a good little stalker slasher flick, which I'm kind of interested in. They've been putting out a lot of these indie old school slashers that I had never heard of. And I'm interested to dive into them because I do love a good slasher flick. I do. I think it's really cool, man. And some interesting people in here. Like Rip Torn is in here, man. Who the hell would have known Rip Torn is in this damn thing? Cade Mulgrew as well from Star Trek Voyager. That's some interesting actors in this piece. Sean S. Cunningham directing it. I'm thinking I'm gonna dig this one. I really am. So I decided to give it a chance. More Scream Factory love in the collection. I mean, I've already got a lot of Scream Factory as it is. One more to add? Why not? Pick that one up. I also, at Soundgarden, ended up picking up another really great Kino Lorber title and a really great movie, and that is none other than Brick. Oh, yes, Brick, man. Do you remember this movie? This is quite the interesting detective noir movie taking place in a high school setting. Very unique and fascinating of a movie, and it's even more unique and fascinating considering it's directed by Rian Johnson. Of course, Rian Johnson, Looper, Rian Johnson, Knives Out, Rian Johnson. Oh, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson. Yes, he's done some really interesting, unique movies, man, and Brick is definitely one of them. I really like this movie, man. I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is awesome here in this movie. I think Lucas Haas is great here as well. It's a good little sort of detective mystery movie that I really enjoy, man. It's gritty with great performances and some really great sort of reveals that sort of open up the mystery and the world of these characters, and I just really dug this. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember when I first watched it years and years ago, I was like, damn, this is really good, dude. And I'm hoping the rewatch can give me that same feeling yet again. I like Rian Johnson. When he does good stuff, Brick happens to be one of the best. At least I think so. Picked up Brick, man. And last, but certainly not least, oh yes, this one I ended up getting through Orbit DVD. And this one, oh, I had to get this. When they announced this was like an immediate instant buy because I remember having a lot of fun with this movie. And that is none other than 8-Legged Freaks. Oh, look at this, man. Let the squashing begin. Oh, so good, man. Oh, this is great, man. I love old school spider movies. Like whether it's like Arachnophobia or Kingdom of the Spiders with William Shatner. Like I love that stuff, man. There's something kind of quirky about it and like B movie-esque that I really dig, and this one reminded me of those in a big bad way, man. I really do. Is it cheesy? Yes. Is it ridiculous? Yeah. Is it over the top? Sure. Whatever. But I thought it was really fun It was crowd pleasing. It was a hell of a lot of entertainment to be had in this, and I thought the performances were pretty cool. I like David Arquette here, man. I think he's having fun with this role. I think they're all having fun with it, and it's just a really just entertaining, just let loose, big giant spiders attacking you movie. Just have fun with it, and that's what I did, man. And I haven't watched it in a long time, but man, I remember digging the hell out of this, and I want it in the collection, man. Just more giant attacking spiders and shit. It's cool, man. There's some really bad ones, but occasionally there's some good ones, and Eight-Legged Freaks happens to be one of them, man. When they announced this, instant buy, baby, instant buy. Had to get that in the collection, man. And I had to get all of these, man. My God, what a fascinating haul this week on top of the P.O. Box love. Man, I think I got a lot of titles to definitely put in the collection. Oh, here goes the rearranging yet again. And before I let you guys go, I gotta talk about this one. And honestly, it's a pretty fun one, I ain't gonna lie. Film Buff rescues more than 20,000 VHS tapes set for the dump. Okay. Let's dive in, shall we? And this comes from the BBC News. A movie buff has rescued more than 20,000 VHS tapes from landfill after traveling 300 miles to collect them. Andy Johnson, who runs what is said to be the UK's last video shop, drove from Liverpool to Dundee to pick up the mammoth haul. The vast collection, which filled 3 lockup garages, was amassed by an individual that collected these over decades. Now, the guy who picked it up said that he had never seen anything this big, and I guarantee you, I don't think many of us have, okay? Now, he has this shop, right? And it's been his dream for a long time to have this shop that he has all this physical media collections and everything. And he has amassed a really fantastic collection. Now, it more than doubles what he already has on top of the 20,000 now that he's collected. And he's actually applying for funding to create a national archive, which actually is pretty cool, not gonna lie, man. That's pretty awesome, actually. Now, he says he was just absolutely amazed when he got the phone call for this. And of course, he had to go do it. Any physical media fan worth their weight in gold would probably pretty happy to check out this kind of haul, man. The guy who got these lockups told me it could be more than 20,000, so we were quite excited. If he had been unable to take the tapes, they would have been destined for the landfill, as VHS tapes cannot be recycled. That is something I really didn't know was possible, that they couldn't be recycled, but I guess it probably is true. Well, Mr. Johnson believes young people brought up in the age of live streaming are keen to experience movies on tape. He said VHS is starting to have a similar comeback scene with vinyl. People want that physical connection to their favorite films rather than the cold experience of playing something from the cloud. Having worked as a clerk in a video shop as a teenager, Mr. Johnson now finds himself traveling across the country on his days off to gather people's collections of old gems and save films which never came out on a digital format from oblivion. During the COVID lockdowns, he even offered customers a special nostalgia pack with a player and 10 tapes. Mr. Johnson added, "It's taken over my life in a short space of time. Thankfully, I have a very understanding wife." Thank God for understanding girlfriends and wives, huh? As we have a 3-year-old boy, and they both traveled with me to pick up VHS hauls, but nothing like the size of this collection in Dundee. A lot of amazing movies were never brought out digitally, and they're in danger of being lost forever. Indeed, they are, guys. Let's be real for a second. There has been times when people have come to me and they've said, "Seth, why do you have this? Why do you have this collection of movies? It just takes up shelf space, and It's just a pain in the ass to organize, and wouldn't you just be better off with all the digital stuff? And I look at them and I think to myself, like, you think I'm on crack? No, no, I think you're on crack. I mean, seriously, I think it's the times that you grew up in, it's how you lived. You have to remember, my parents, they grew up on physical media, on a lot of these formats, and they embrace VHS. They embrace this physical stuff, and I definitely got it from them in a big bad way. But it's also the fact of, for me, it's about the movies themselves, and it's about preserving those movies when I want to watch them, whenever I choose to do that. As much as I like digital, as much as I watch digital from time to time, whether it's by myself or with my girlfriend, it doesn't matter, because physical is still something that I want in my life, because there's so many movies that I own in the collection that will never come to digital. There's just no way. A lot of these movies just aren't popular enough, and a lot of these streaming services, if it's not popular, if it's not something that is going to be good for their algorithm and is going to get eyeballs on their product, they just don't care about it. It's just another number to them. And for you and me, these movies are not numbers, they're experiences. I could take a movie from the collection and say, I remember when I saw that in the movie theater X amount of years ago, or I remember when I had that great fun time with my friend watching this film and we experienced it, we had all these great laughs. Those are moments, those are experiences that I keep in my head and in my heart. And having that in the collection is a certain amount of nostalgia and memories that I don't want to go, and I don't want to let go. And I want to keep these movies around. And also, I've been able to find so many wonderful gems and great movies that I would have never known of otherwise, had it not been for the chance to own it on physical. Yes, physical is not as good as it used to be years and years and years ago, but it can still be great. It can still be a wonderful experience to have and to own. You just got to embrace it. And I've learned to embrace it quite a bit, and I know a lot of people have. And yeah, digital has taken over, and yeah, physical media has become more niche, but at the end of the day, none of that matters, man. The people who care about it deeply, and they're always going to. And the people who left were the people that thought it was a fad and were hopping on the popular train at that point. And now those people are gone, and now it's the diehards, and I'm fine with that. I really am, man, because it's those people that are the true passionate lovers, and it's those people that I I really connect with in a big bad way, man. I truly do, man. I mean, it's not for everybody, and I understand that, but for me, it's everything. It's been a part of my life up until now, and it will continue to be till the day I die. And I'm damn glad for it, man. And so seeing somebody that passionate drive that far away to save those movies, to save things that may never get a release in any other format, that is pure unadulterated passion. And I got to applaud that. I really do. Is it crazy? Is it insane? Absolutely it is. 110%, guys. But there's something about it that I really appreciate, and you have to really have a passion for it to do something like that. And you know, sometimes in a sea of digital and social media and checking our phones constantly, passion sometimes is really hard to find. And seeing that really makes me feel good that there is still passion out there for things that we love. And keeping that close to your heart, that means something, that matters. So I truly applaud and appreciate that, and I hope you guys can too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos that I do. Check out the movie reviews with my friends, live streams, Blu-ray pickup videos, my god, movie hunting, like Dollar Tree hunts, and so much more. If you guys are a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank so many of you guys out there who watch the entirety of the videos, give me great feedback, wonderful comments. You guys are some of the reasons why I keep on doing this. You guys are as passionate about this channel as I am, and I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you. Give me the love, and hopefully I give the love right back to you. So if you love what I do, definitely hit subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so you will be notified every single time I make a video. Also, keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. FilmFan108, keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if you guys want to send any movie-related goodness, posters, care packages, physical media, you name it, you can do that. The P.O. Box is in the description below. It is not expected, but it is definitely appreciated. And the stuff that you guys have sent me has been absolutely amazing. I am shocked by the stuff that you guys have sent me, and I cannot wait to see where the P.O. Box takes me next. So thank you for all the love you've given it. And if you want to send something, you definitely can. Alright guys, well this was a very interesting video indeed, a lot of really interesting physical media, and next week hopefully will be the same thing. Until next time guys, I will see you back for the next video. Take care and remember, happy hunting.